Welcome to this week's virtual Drasha. This week we had the incredible privilege to read Parshas Eikev. And nestled in the middle of Parshas Eikev, Moshe Rabbeinu gives a review of the halachos of kashrus, the Jewish dietary laws. And in Perek Yudalid Pasuk Yudalid chapter 14, verse 11, the Torah says Moshe Rabbeinu conveys to Klal Yisrael, Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. You are permitted to go ahead and eat any kosher bird, or literally any ritually pure bird. And the Torah then goes on to go through the different halachos. The truth is, for birds, the Torah identifies the birds of prey that one is not permitted to eat, and through that we're able to see which birds are kosher, which birds are permitted for Jewish consumption. Rashi HaKadosh points out that whenever the Torah repeats halachos, because we already learned the halachos of kashrus, the Jewish dietary laws, back in Parshas Shmini, already in Vayikra. So Rashi explains that whenever the Torah reviews information, there's always a chiddush, there's always something new that's contained within this section. It looks like a review. It looks like it's the same exact information, but there's always something new. So what's new in this review of the halachos of kashrus, of the Jewish dietary laws? And Rashi says something amazing. Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. When the Torah says you could eat any kosher bird, what does it come to include? What is it coming to teach us? What new piece of information is being conveyed? Lahatir mishulechas shebemitzora. To come to include the bird which was sent away as part of the purification ritual of the Mitzorah, the person afflicted with saras. So let's take a little bit of a journey back to Chumash Vayikra, Parshas Mitzorah. The Torah introduces us to the individual, the Mitzorah, who's stricken with saras. And saras occurs for a variety of reasons, but most notably because one has spoken lashon hara, one has spoken slander or negative speech about another individual, and as such is afflicted with saras. And the Torah in Parshas Mitzorah goes through the purification process of the Mitzorah. And most notably, the centerpiece of the purification of the Mitzorah are the shtei tziporim, the two birds. The two birds. And Rashi points out something amazing. Rashi says, why birds? And Rashi points out back in Parshas Mitzorah, he says, Lefi sha'ne go'im bana lashon hara. Because a person gets tsaras because of lashon hara. Shumaisa pitputei dvarim. What's lashon hara? Lashon hara is like the chirping of the birds, and it's such an incredible comparison. The birds chirp. When you hear the birds chirp, they're kind of chirping just like continuously in an ongoing fashion. What's lashon hara? Lashon hara is a person who needs to chirp and keep chirping and doesn't know when to stop chirping and doesn't know what to chirp about and what to not chirp about. So lashon hara is compared to the chirping, the incessant chirping of the birds, the incessant negative speech, the slander of the Mitzorah. And as such, lefichach huskaku l'tarasot tziporim. Therefore, when the Mitzorah comes for his purification, so the Torah says he has to bring birds. What's interesting is why two birds? So the Zohar comments on this. And the Zohar says something absolutely amazing, and I quote to you. This is the Zohar in Parshas Tazria, says, begin mila bisha, begin mila tova. The Zohar says something amazing. I understand why bird, but bring one bird. Why two birds? The bird is necessary because of the of the chirping motif. I understand why two birds. Says the Zohar, one bird represents the negative chirping, the negative speech, and one bird represents the positive speech. What does that mean? And the Zohar is saying something so profound. When a person speaks lashon hara, when a person speaks negatively, there are in essence two averos which are being committed. There's an avera that a person is misusing their koach hadibur, or a person is misusing their power of speech. I'm using my words to deconstruct, to cut down, to hurt, and to visit harm upon another human being, upon another individual. That's one sin. But there's another sin. Because at the same time that I was cutting someone down with my speech, I could have been building them up at that same moment. In the same moment where I was using negative words to deconstruct and to hurt another, I could have been using those same words in a positive way to build up, to build self-esteem, to give a person renewed koach, renewed hope, renewed resolve. So in every single aveira of lashon hara, in every single transgression of slanderous speech, explains the Zohar, there's a dual sin. There's the misuse of speech by speaking negatively, and there's the misuse of speech by failing to speak positively. And says the Zohar, that's why the Mitzorah has to bring two birds. One bird for the negative speech, and one bird for the positive speech, or the lost opportunity of positive speech. And says the Zohar something absolutely amazing. The bird that you shecht, the bird that you slaughter, that's the bird for negative speech. That represents the harm that you did. But in the Mitzora's purification process, the second bird is set free. It takes flight. What does it mean it takes flight? That bird that's set free and takes flight and flies away, that bird represents the lost opportunity. I had the opportunity to use my speech to build someone up. I had the opportunity to use my words to do something positive, to do something constructive in this world. I didn't take it. And so I let the bird go. That bird representing positive speech flies off, never to be seen again, representing the lost opportunity of life. Comes Parshas Eikev, and what does the Torah say? Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. You could eat every kosher bird. Again, remember, like we said before, Rashi says, which kosher bird are we referring to? It refers to if you find the bird which was set free by the Mitzorah, you're allowed to go ahead and shech that and eat it as well. And I think that the Torah is teaching us an incredible, incredible lesson. You see, when the Mitzorah lets the bird go free, what the Mitzorah is really saying is, I've lost an opportunity. And dear friends, too often in life, when the door of opportunity slams shut, it stays shut. If you don't take advantage of your life opportunities, they don't wait around until you're ready. They don't wait around until it's a convenient time. They don't wait around until I finally have my act together, I'm ready to embrace them. So often in life, when the opportunity flutters away, it's gone forever. But there are times when even lost opportunities represent themselves. There are moments in life when even those birds of opportunity that I let get away come back. Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. Torah Kedosha tells us, if you let life opportunities slip through your fingers, if you let the birds of opportunity fly and flutter away, there may be a moment where they come flying back. And if they come flying back, grab them. If they come flying back, take hold. Don't let it go a second time. Because if you're lucky enough that life presents you with opportunities again, don't press your luck by letting them go. Don't press your luck by letting them fly away. Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. More often than not, once you let opportunities go, they don't fly back, but sometimes they do. And if they do, find the courage to grab it, to consume it, and to maximize it. Kol tzipor tahora tochelu. If the Mitzorah bird of positive opportunity that got away comes flying back, grab it, ingest it, maximize it. This is an incredible lesson, but I think it's magnified even more on this Shabbos of Rosh Chodesh Elul. It's amazing to think. Chodesh Elul is upon us. Haba aleinu l'tova. The end of one year, beginning of another year, and this bridge month. And what's the avoda of Chodesh Elul? You know, sometimes we come to this month and you get a little bit of like Elul anxiety or even Elul paralysis because like there's so much to do. And I'm not sure where to start. So much I want to cram into a month. So much I meant to do the whole year I didn't get a chance to do. Now it's Elul, it's almost Rosh Hashanah, and I want to go into Rosh Hashanah with a sense of confidence. I want to go into the Yamim Norah. I'm feeling that I maximized my year, but I didn't. Or at least I feel that I didn't. So what do I do now in this last month? And I think, you know what the power of Chodesh Elul is? The power of Elul is the month to reclaim lost opportunities. Elul is the month to think to myself, which opportunities did I let slip through my fingers this past year? What are the things that were in front of me that I could have done that I didn't do for whatever the reason? The reason is almost immaterial a little bit right now. Right? But what are the birds? What are the birds that I let fly away? What are the birds of personal growth, of dynamic positive activity? What are the birds of self-actualization that I had them in my hand, but I let them go? Let me identify those birds and let me see if I could reclaim them in the 1 month left to this year. That's the avoda of Chodesh Elul. To identify the things that I've allowed to slip away, I've allowed to get away, I've allowed to fly away, and see if I can reclaim them. There may be some birds you can't get back. There may be some lost opportunities that simply are beyond reclamation, but there may be some that you can. I rephrase that. There are some that I can. There are some opportunities that I did not take advantage of that are still there for the taking. Or even if those same opportunities are not there, there are other ways that I can make it right. There are other birds that I could see. So this, dear friends, is the avoda of Chodesh Elul. It's the month to think about the birds I let slip through my fingers, the birds I let fly away, and to figure out how can I reclaim them in the months ahead. May we be Zochem Eretz Hashem to make this a month of incredible accomplishment, to make this a month of incredible dynamic activity. But I think most importantly, may we be Zochem Eretz Hashem to make this a month of Kol Tzipar Tahora Tochelu, a month where we find the courage to think about the opportunities we let fly away and to summon the Gvura, to summon the strength to reclaim them. Wishing everyone a guten Erev Shabbos, a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh, and a guten Chodesh as well.